Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the honors and the praises and the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahavakar Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai, and who I reverence and honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days. We're going to bring it out. Most people would say, this ain't a basic lesson, this is difficult, this is meat. We're going to make it as basic as possible because our people need to know what's going on. The reason why we've been given this truth is to set our people free. So what better way to do it? We're going to start off on, go to Matthew 24, right? And go straight to verse 21. For there shall be great tribulation, which is what? Trouble, anguish, okay, such as was not since the beginning of the world. So this is what we got to acknowledge, okay? To this time, no shall be great tribulations. Nothing's going to be compared to it. You can put all the world wars, mix them together, nothing's going to compare to that. Check this out. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. But if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Mashiach or there, believe it not. In other words, don't believe it. Why? Because who has influence today, in today's terms? The elites, right? And who do the elites hire? Witches and scientists, right? To do their workload. Okay. And that's why it says, if any man shall say to you, lo, here is Mashiach or there, believe it not. And I've got the new translation with me as well, and we're going to go into that, Lord willing. Excuse me just a minute, because we're in an age of deception, and there's a whole load of deception going on. So now when we go into Matthew 24 and we jump straight to verse 23, right? Check this out. It says, go to 22. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. One new translation. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. That's why time is going so fast, right? And Esau can't control the time. He could just hold up. He could just hold up a bit of traffic. That's what he could do. Hold up a bit of traffic, you know. Have you go there, have people trying to cut you short. That's what he can do. But concerning time, he can't do that. Now, does he add one leap year? Does he add a day and take? He does that. But that's what he can do. Okay. And it says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, look, here is Mashiach, the anointed, the Messiah, or there he is, do not believe it. Because this was what was going to happen in these last days. They were going to, there's the Messiah, go here, go. And this is happening now on a lower level scale. You're seeing people being manipulated. They're in a trance, right? You're seeing it now on a lower scale. If you have eyes to see, spiritual eyes. Because they've been deceived. And that's why Yahweh shall warn us of these things. Where he is, do not believe it. So Esau was going to say, look, there's the Messiah. And he was going to do this a particular way. We're going to go into it. For false Mashiachs, anointeds, and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and miracles to deceive even the elect, if it were possible. So you have individuals out here, they're using all types of skullduggery to try to deceive the elect. Witchcraft, hypnotism, right? And hypnotism works in what? Repeated cycles. Okay? And it says, Baba Kasha, miracles to deceive even the elect, if it were possible. See, I've told you ahead of time. Come on. Come on. That's why you got to be in these scriptures. Now let's go back to Matthew 24, the King James Version. Right? It's good to read the King James Version and the New Translation. This is Matthew 24. Go back to where we were. And 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is the anointed, the Messiah, or there, believe it not. Because this is what Esau was going to do in these last days. And how is he going to do this? With technology. Right? I've got to be careful with my words because they're trying to strike down the channels, take down the channels. He was going to do this by technology. Esau believes in his tech. He believes in science. Even though there's a Most High, but this is what the elites believe in, science and occultism. And they mix both of them together. Right? There's such a thing of CERN, DARPA. What do you think CERN and DARPA's about? Huh? Manipulating elements and structures. Right? And it says, for there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets and show great signs and wonders, in so much if it were possible they should deceive the very elect. So how are they going to be able to? Now we need to ask that. How are they going to be able to deceive people? By tech. You do know Esau has something called holograms, right? You know he has something called a hologram, right? And all he needs to get is your reflection in that hologram. And with that hologram, he could just pattern it in the sky and have a false image of the Messiah. And everybody will follow it. See, look, that's the Messiah. You know in school you had something called a projector on the screen and you press the button and the words or image will come up. Esau has this technology. He's had it for years. Hundreds of years. Okay? Because that's his power. His power is in science. That's what he believes in. But I'm sorry to tell you that Yahushua is going to bring all that to naught. Okay? And this is what these people believe, because they believe in the image of the beast. That's what they believe. So now we went to that Baba Kashar. Hope this is edifying. And it says great signs. The signs were going to be what do they call it? Project Blue Beam. Right? That's them great signs. Okay? And wonders. And there's many other stuff I could tell you as well. Yeah, if you have particular electronics in your household, they're able to measure up particular frequencies, right? And link you in to what? The web of things. Very easy. And out of that information they have, they create a virtual reality out of your frequency, right? And also that's how they can track you, right? That's why what prophets, but we're supposed to know, I'll say all things of what you've been given. All things. And that's how they track you. Because they're not omnipresent, right? That's why they need to use what? Technology. Okay, that's why it's called the Internet of Things, the web of things. Okay? That's Esau's power. Esau's power is not in the Most High, right? It's in tech, right? They just have a van, it's easy. You may have a smart house devices. Esau can just set up someone, right, to measure up these things. And also smart meters, they also do that as well. Tech. It's tech. That's his power, right? That's his power. That's not our power, right? Because who created the tech? Who created electricity? Who created fire? Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. So these people, they're really deceiving themselves, right? But this is what happens when you believe in this world, this current system. And technology, nothing is wrong with technology. It's what you do with it. But people are using technology to manipulate people, right? And to try and mess with their emotions. That's what these people are doing. Because they're wizards, they're warlocks. And that's what a wizard and warlock would do, right? And they gather this as well and they bring it into what? A database, right? So anyway, let's continue. Baba Kashrat, in so much if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So who they really looking to deceive? The elect, right? And we know that's what they're doing. They're experimenting on us. That's what they've been doing, right? Hypnotism, all types of wickedness. And a lot of it is mixed in with witchcraft as well, right? Because the rulers of society, that's what they believe in, right? And is there particular things that they can manipulate? And of course, but there's only so far you can go. And the scriptures do say the deceived. So for you to do that, to manipulate, that means, and to deceive, that means you would have to be deceived yourself. So these people, they are deceived. They think they're God. They think they can control your destiny, your path. That shows you how conceited they are. But that's what the devil does. The devil wants to be like the Most High. The devil wants to be like Yahweh Shai. He wants to be all-knowing. Right? Okay? He wants to be all-knowing. He wants to be everywhere. Right? Let's go to verse 26. Right? Behold, I have told you before, wherefore I shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert. Go not forth. Right? Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Believe it not. This is what's going to happen on a large scale. Right? People are going to be told to go here. I'm even seeing this now. I'm seeing this now on a lower scale. People being told, would you please go here? Would you please monitor this individual? I'm seeing that now. Those are the miracles. So people are being tested. Everyone is. All right? But the thing is, the elect, they belong to Yahweh Shai. That's the thing. All right? You ever heard of snow snatching? Spiritual body snatching? Well, this is what these people practice. Right? But they're deceived. Yahweh Shai has deceived them. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha, in the secret chambers, go not. Because Esau is going to do that. So yeah, the Messiah is here. He's there. But he wasn't there. For as lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, and Yahushua is going to come from the east to the west, so shall also the coming of Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will also the eagles be gathered together. Correct me if I'm wrong as well. The carcass would be Yahweh Shai, the eagles would be the elect. Immediately after tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, right? And the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Right? Well, who's the powers of heaven? Right? The rulers. Right? They're going to be shaken. Even the spiritual demons in higher places, they're going to be shaken. Right? And where do they get their ideas from? They get their ideas from Satan, by the way. So this is all spiritual. This is all spiritual, baby. And it says, Baba Kasha, when shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, which is Yahweh Shai, and all the tribes of mourn, right? And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. That's Yahweh Shai, right? Of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds of one end of heaven to the other. Right? So guess what? Yahweh Shai, our Messiah, is coming. Right? From the four corners to gather the elect. So the witchcraft, and so for all this witchcraft, all this science that you believe in, that's going to be done away with. Which, again, I said nothing is wrong with science, but it just has to be used in the right manner, in the right way. And really, science goes into what? Knowledge, right? So when you think of science, science is actually knowledge and wisdom, true wisdom. So we went to that. Now we're going to jump to Psalm 64. Go to Psalm 64, Baba Kasha. This is Psalm 64, yeah. This is it. You're so powerful. It's not by your own accord. It's by Yahweh's accord. You're so powerful. Guess what? You're so powerful that the devil wants your mind. He wants your soul, but your soul belongs to Yahweh Shai. Like I said, is there particular things they can manipulate? Of course. Right? It's easy to manipulate when you're using directed energy, right? And trying to mess with someone's neural pattern. Of course. Of course. You know what I'm saying? Right? But in terms of, alright, say you do that. You're using all these things on an individual. Does that mean they're not of the elect? No, they're still of the elect. They're still of the elect. Okay. This is Psalms. And really it's it really goes, it's very, 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 very satanic, because their whole thing is to try to change your outlook on life, change your perception. Because if you can change someone's perception, I've said this before, right? You change someone's perception, that means you also, right? You can also control their reality, because perception is everything. But now we ask, well, what is your perception of life? Is it through the eyes of the world? Which is rubbish, And that's why you have a thing called media, which goes into mediums, which goes into witchcraft, and you have channels, which goes into channeling, right? And most of your BBC, what they call it, your newscasters, what are they casting? They're casting spells on you, right? Your newscasters, they're just reading a little bit of paper, which someone told them to, all right, bring this out, bring that out. It's all wizardry, right? So what was I saying? Psalm 64. Right? So yeah, they can do these things. If you can control someone's perception of how they view things, then you may have a chance of controlling their reality. But that's why the scriptures are so important. Because when you're reading the scriptures, you have a good outlook. Your outlook on life is the right outlook. So these people, they're under that spell and the illusion of everything's all right. Because they don't filter it through the scriptures. They filter it through what? Science. They believe in themselves. They think they are gods. A lot of these scientists, they believe in their gods themselves. They're not gods, right? Even what was his name? Darwin. Even Darwin had to realize that before his death. I believe he did confess that there was a God. Yeah, this was Darwin. I forgot his name, if I'm saying it right. He had to admit that there was a higher power. And these people are going to be false. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess, right? That Yahweh is Lord, Kings of Kings. These things are going on. I would go more in depth with these lessons, but you know, we got certain things you just got to cut short and we deal with it in another lesson, right? But Esau, yeah, Esau's been given the wisdom, right? The mighty men of Teman, right? The German scientists. There's a reason why they never killed off them German scientists. And the Nazis, they did it, this whole thing, oh, they killed off the Nazis. No, they didn't. No, they did not. They didn't kill them off. They didn't kill them off. They're still here, right? Because a lot of them were the scientists. They're still here today, right? This whole rubbish, oh, they were killed off. Oh, the Nazis are still, and they're in power. That's the worst thing about it. And they're in positions of power, right? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, all right? And you're talking about, oh, they killed off all the so-called Jews, the Jewish. Well, they're what? They claim to be, what, 1% of the earth, and they're controlling things. They didn't kill them off. They're still in power as well, right? And I always say, one individual, he was throwing a tantrum. He probably I wouldn't be surprised if he put me on the program. I told him, he said, why, are you denying the Holocaust? Are you denying it? No, it's not I'm denying it. It was a world war. It wasn't just so-called Jewish people dying. It was a world war. Everyone was dying. That's what happens in a war, right? Oh, so why are you denying the Holocaust? Like I said, it was a world war, right? You had all types of nations dying in that world war. Italians, Germans, right? British, right? You ask anyone who's British and their father served in the army, they would tell you it was all types of people dying. But that was done so you could have sympathy for what them so-called Jews, which they're not really Jews, they're Esau, right? And they get what? Billions today, to this day, in funding. Billions in funding from America. Because they all believe in that lie. You better wake up and smell the coffee. I want to keep it short because I don't want to say too much. The Masons might come after me, right? Excuse me just a minute. Anyway, let's go back into Psalm 64. Go to Psalm 64. This is Psalm 64, a prayer of David. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Because we have enemies. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Key thing. Secret counsel of the wicked. So the elites, they have secret counsel, secret meetings. Alright? From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So they're working iniquity. Yeah, they are working iniquity every single day because they are the workers of iniquity. And when it says that, it's not just, all right, the elites, but on down, there's a hierarchy to Satan's kingdom, right? There's a hierarchy, okay? So when it says from the workers of iniquity, that includes everybody that's a part of Satan's structure. So those that are part of Satan's structure, they're workers of iniquity. Whether you want to call it your local police officers. Are all police officers workers of... No, I'm not saying that. But the whole structure, the way this kingdom is built up, is built up on wickedness, because that's the only way it stands. And that's why it's so important that you bring out this word. Okay? Even certain people that are involved in certain construction, even what I've learned, I never realized this, even certain, I'm learning a lot about also these contractors. Now, is every single contractor wicked? No. But a lot of them are wicked because they're doing the devil's bidding, right? These are mercenaries. They're hired. Go into this land, set up this, set up that, right? Overthrow these particular cities, build this structure, right? So they be classed as the workers of iniquity, right? And like I said, I don't have any problems with contractors because my grandfather was a military contractor, electrician contractor, right? Highly skilled professional, right? So they're not all wicked. I've got to say that because I don't want them contractors on my ass, okay? Even though I think they are on my ass already, right? These are people that are getting paid to do wickedness, okay? To try and manipulate your view on life, right? This is Psalms. It's like the reason I'm laughing. These people, man, they want you to fall for the lies. Right? You got to see the lie for what the lie is and move on and move accordingly. Because if you don't, you get caught up in that spell. Right? They want you to buy into it. Right? Because it's all about perception. Right? But my perception is of what the scriptures. Right? And you got to be a real wicked individual to try and want to change another man's way of thinking. If he's thinking righteously. Like you might say, well, you're doing it. You're trying to get people to believe. No, we're just bringing out the word, and whoever believes, believes. And that's it. We're not forcing you, right? I don't wake up at night time thinking, how can I control this individual? I need to control him. Mind, body, and soul. That's demonic. That means you're just demonic. But again, that's a trait of a narcissist. Please, get him in the house. Get him in the house. He just stepped out. He just ate some food. He just went to grow up. Whoever's doing these things, whoever's responsible, you better grow up. Because really, you're wasting your time. Right? But this is high-tech, very, very high-tech technology that these people believe in, because they believe in that. That's what they believe in. Right? So basically, they're trying to mock our power. They're trying to mock Yahweh Shai. Right? But Yahweh Shai's going to mock them. Go to Psalm 64. We're going to quick up with this lesson. Right? Because I want something to eat. Let me just read it. Psalm 64. I'm a bit of a foodie, by the way. Let's go to Psalm 64 and 3. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So we're being shot at on a daily, and the only thing that can protect us from that is this word. Right? But they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly did they shoot at him, and they fear not. There's no fear before their eyes. There's no fear. And another thing, this technology, they can use it to basically, you know, when you're doing a video, even if your video ain't public, they can make it public because they have the technology to do that. Google, Amazon, Yahoo, all these tech companies, you name them, they're all controlled. They're all part of one conglomerate, right? And that's why it's going to be beautiful when we don't have to use these devices anymore. The only reason I'm using this device is to get the word out, and that's it. But there's going to be a time when there's going to be a famine of the word, and there's going to be what? EMP attacks where the grids are all messed up. These things are going to happen as well, right? But they have me on the grid because if you have a 5G, if you have a phone, if you have a device, then you're part of the Internet of Things, right? So when you're doing lessons, people get notified because you're part of the Internet of Things. And that was brought in by Barack Obama when he brought forth that privacy law to do away with it. He done away with the privacy law. Why would you do away with that? You should have kept Trump in office. Trump was, I kind of like Trump. You should have kept him in office because he was doing away with that rubbish. He wanted that privacy kept, but now you don't have no privacy. People can see what you're eating, what you're listening to. You're taking a dump. These people are weird. Me, that's not me. So I couldn't care what another person's doing in their yard. But these people are nosy. But welcome to Nazi Britain. Welcome to communist Britain. Okay? Same thing in China, communist. Same thing in Russia, communist. You have no freedom. All your rights are being stripped away from you right in front of your eyes. And people, they're so stupid. So stupid. And so lucky, I'm just venting. We're going to let scriptures come out. Oh, but it's good. It's for security. Oh, no, well, no, it ain't. You're part of the problem. You're a part of the problem. Your tax hard-working money is going on. You being monitored every single day. And you're joining in with it because you don't know any better. Imbeciles. And these people think they're cool. Yeah, we're just policing because it gives them a false ego. Yeah, we're policing our community. No, you're being watched too. And the more people that we educate about this, the more people will say, you know what? No, we're not going to give them our power. Right? Because when you do that, you're giving them your power. All you got to say is, no, we're not doing that. Right? But people, they're not none the wise. So they get stripped of their power. Right? People basically sell their soul for nothing. Oh, I need to go on holiday. Then you end up getting vaxxed. Alright? And now you're like a zombie. And it says, Psalm 64, Baba Kashah. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. Right? They get together in meetings, boardrooms, they commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Who's going to see us? Nobody sees. Because remember, they don't believe in the power of the Most High. They search out iniquities. They have the means of doing this. Yeah, yes, they do know quite a lot about you. But that's because the devil, what does the devil do? Information. You do know the devil has to gather information. So the devil also studies you as well. So all of us, let's admit this, we've been studied from when we were young. From when you came out of the womb, guess what? Yeah, we even had handlers. But the difference is the words. So from the moment you came out of the womb, right, you had those that were assigned to you to see your progress. From school, from nursery, if you went to nursery, from primary to high school, you were being watched, right? Whether you knew it or not, but now you know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And here's the truth. Yahweh Shai. Your parents, same thing. When they were born, they had people that were watching over them. Stay in line, conform, don't grow. Even masculinity, what they call it, masculinity, they don't even want you to be masculine. Even that, you become targeted for being masculine. Or would you please take the bass out of your voice? This is a psychological, social engineering program. And it's working on most of the people. Okay. Alright, we're going to shut off soon. I hope you're being edified, whoever's listening. Right? So you can get out of that trance and wake up to this truth. The truth is the only thing that's going to make you free. Right? Psalm 64. Right? Because these people, they want to turn your reality upside down. Let's go to Psalms 64. How long are you going to send these people out on the streets wearing black, color coding? That means you've manipulated them. You've made them do that. Oh my gosh. The rabbit hole goes deep. Pick a pill. Pick a pill, Neo. The blue pill or the red pill. And it says, they encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares. Privily, they say, who shall see them? So they think nobody sees. But Yahweh sees. They search out iniquities. We already went into this. So they know, bro, they got information on your father's father, I believe. They know your grandmother and your grandmother's mother. They have this. They have records, man. Okay. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. They've been studied, whether you knew it or not, the devil's been studying you from the moment you were born. They knew you were going to wake up. They knew you were different. You ever heard that saying, put them in a special class? Well, they put you in a special class because it's just the way you learned was different from everybody else. You were less compliant. You were maybe someone that asked a lot of questions, or it took you a bit more longer to do something, but once you did get it, I was like that as well when I was younger. I might not get something straight away, but as soon as I do get it, there's no stopping me, right? So, yeah, you were studied from young, young. And they just, if you're one of the elects, like, you know, the X-Men and these movies, the Marvel movies, Esau knew that. Esau knows that. And that's why he studies the elect. Okay, this is deep. Right, we're going to shut off soon. And it says, the inward thought of everyone of them in the heart is deep. Remember, they have data centers. They have underground bases. They have data centers, right? Where your data is being passed around. Why am I getting these funny calls? Oh, we just got your number. Well, I never gave you my number because these are data centers. And a lot of these data centers are also in India as well. They're passing around this information. Oh, well, hold on a minute. I was just watching this on, or, you know, on some trainers I wanted. And next thing, trainers pop up. Or do you just want some trainers? Because they're doing an idea of the things of you may like. So they're doing it right now. The things you may like, they're putting all that down. So you do know everything, every single thing you've watched, every single thing you've watched, that's being marked down. Oh, he likes this, he likes that. He doesn't like this. That's why you got likes as well. Press the like button. Oh, he dislikes this. He watches this a lot. He's got a habit of doing this. So all these things are being done. Right? All these things are being done. And again, the police, it's not hard because a lot of people incriminate themselves. You got all these Grime Daily or whatever you want to call it. They're recording rap videos. All the police have to do, because the police have data centers as well, if you didn't know that. Right? They have satellites, they have data centers, they have what's it called? They have fusion centers. The NSA, they have fusion centers, and they link it up, right, to satellites, right, to manipulate your brainwaves. So all these things are happening. It all goes back to tech. So now they can catch criminals just by watching a music video, and this guy is saying, yeah, a duppy this, a duppy that. Well, all right. The police saying, all right, you just incriminated yourself now. Okay. So now we went to that Baba Kashar. Quickly go to Revelations and we shut off. Lord, when this has been edifying. Revelations 13 and jump straight to verse 12. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him and calls it for earth. And them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. Okay, whose deadly wound was healed. The first beast was what? The Roman Empire. But its deadly wound was healed, revived, which has been healed, which is today. It'd be classed as EU and the League of Nations. And he doeth great wonders, so he that maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth on the sight of men. That was a great wonder. Because it was the first time. I believe that was the first bomb that was dropped on Yugoslavia. Right? That was a miracle. Nobody's seen that before. Right? So they must have been looking at this man like, this man is God. Right? And deceive of them that dwell on the earth. You see? By the means of those miracles. Because a lot of things you see this man doing, you think, man, no, a lot of people, when they see these things, they're like, well, they don't believe in God when they see these particular things. But we still believe in Yahweh Shai, but it's just he's been given that power to do it. Right? Okay, and he gets these ideas from Satan. You probably say, well, where does Esau get the ideas for this technology? Yeah, he gets it from the left-hand side. Right? With them spirits. Yeah, they were given help. I heard one scientist saying, yeah, we were given help. Well, what do you think? Who were they given help by? Right? Oh, the spiritual realm is real. Okay? And it says, whose deadly wound was healed and great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven in the sight of men and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles through tech. Right? So many people are going to be deceived by those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, which is this system. Said to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image. We already know what that image is. Right? To the beasts which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast. Right? That it should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image should be both killed. Right? And you already know what that is, the RFID. And he calls of all, both small, great, rich, poor, free, born to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. Whoever does not receive cannot buy nor sell. This is what time we're getting into. This is serious time. And that's why the infrastructure, it's already set up. It's set up, right? Look what happened. The Queen passed away not too long ago, and one of the Rothschilds, I forgot his name. So now these things have happened. Things are getting sped up. And that's why you may be saying, well, you've seen a change in certain things, right? Well, it's because what? The devil's speeding up things. He wants this underway. The elites want this underway, right? They want it underway. And that's why, yeah, you're going to see things change, right? But just notice we're all being watched. So don't bug out about that. Don't be like, oh, what am I going to do? You acknowledge it. Yeah, we're all being watched. But so what? The elect belong to him. No man shall pluck them out of my hand. The elect belong to Yahweh Shai. As for the others, they belong to what? The image of the beast. And things are going to get more difficult. Get used to being uncomfortable. Get comfortable for being uncomfortable, because loads of things are going to change. Loads of things. Right? And before it gets better, things will get worse first. So with this, I hope this was edifying. And until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.